Sport Club Handbook Guide, Health and Safety. The Division of Recreational Sports does not provide any type of insurance for sport club athletes, though we do highly encourage members to have a physical examination at the beginning of each season and that they carry medical or health insurance on their own. University Health Services does not pay for any physicals, emergency room treatments, or hospital stays. All clubs must have 2 certified first aid, CPR, and AED members prior to October 1st. We go ahead and offer classes through Rec Sports for $27. If you would like to take the class outside of our facilities, you're more than welcome to, but we do want to encourage you to take them us as they are the less expensive option. If you do choose to take it through a different facility, you will have to provide documentation of certification to our office so that we can document you as one of the safety officers for your club. We recommend that clubs have this so that there is someone out at practice at all times who can be a first responder for your club, especially for clubs who don't practice in a facility where accidents involving blood do happen quite frequently when playing contact sports, so we want to make sure that those who have the correct training know what to do if this ever does occur. You must have bloodborne pathogens training to be allowed to clean bloodborne pathogens, i.e. bodily fluids, blood, etc., from the playing surface. Rec Sports will facilitate cleanup within their indoor facilities, but any outdoor facilities will have to be taken care of by someone with the training. We highly recommend that each club have members that are trained in bloodborne pathogens. In the event of inclement weather, the sport club staff will notify your club officers of any canceled practices. We make our decisions by 3:30 p.m. and we follow that decision with an email out to all club officers as well as a phone call if practices are going to begin shortly. You can always call the weather hotline anytime during the day for up-to-date field cancellations if you believe that there could be a chance that you can't practice. We also will post all of our cancellations to our Rec Sports Twitter and Facebook, which is just another incentive to make sure that you're following our Twitter account and liking us on Facebook to get the most current information. We take participant safety and field preservation as our top priorities, so whenever we do make the decisions, we make them with you. In the event that inclement weather occurs while you are at practice, please suspend play immediately and consider participant safety and our field conditions whenever you're making those decisions. Do not attempt to finish your practice for any reason if inclement weather is on the horizon or is occurring. They are your fields, and we want to make sure that you are able to use them. We don't ever want to suspend practice or special events on the weekends because our fields cannot withstand participant play on them. If there is a chance that inclement weather could be on the horizon, please check out a weather radio from the towel room at the Nat so that you are able to keep up to date with any weather patterns. Just a couple of quick protocols for any inclement weather. Severe thunderstorm warning usually means heavy rain, lightning, and or strong wind gusts. We request that you take shelter immediately if that is occurring. A tornado watch means that conditions are conducive to a tornado forming. Activities may be suspended, but we just want you to be on the lookout for any potential changes to a warning. A tornado warning means that a tornado has been sighted or indicated by Doppler radar in the immediate area. In this case, you need to take shelter immediately and cannot be practicing any longer. Any flooding is usually high water that is fast rising, and we do say that activities may be suspended if this is the case. It isn't a take shelter immediately scenario, but it could turn into one if the flooding progresses. We use the 30-30 rule for lightning, which is 30 seconds between a lightning flash and sound of thunder. In this case, we would ask that you suspend play for at least 30 minutes and seek shelter immediately until that 30 minutes is up. During any special events on the weekends where our supervisors are present, they will be in charge of monitoring the weather and lightning patterns, and they will make the decision to suspend play as they see fit. They will use the same weather detection service for athletics whenever making their decisions, so the final decision of a supervisor at a special event is a decision that you must go with. If they request that you suspend play, Seeking shelter. In the case of inclement weather, seek shelter in the following areas. If you're out at Far West Fields, better known as UBay, you'll seek shelter at the Nielsen Tennis Stadium. If you're in the natatorium, Gym 2, proceed to the locker rooms. If you are at the you will then go to the locker rooms as well. Lathrop Hall, you will proceed to the basement hallway. At the Shell, you will proceed to the area between the bleachers and the locker rooms. At Nielsen Tennis Stadium, you will go to the squash courts. And if you are off campus, please check with your site supervisor for designated shelters or safe zones in the case of inclement weather or emergency. If you ever have any questions about where to seek shelter, or if you forget the ones that we've listed, go ahead and ask your student coordinator at any time, or utilize any supers or fact soups that you see in the building while you are practicing. Defining emergencies. Emergency situations include any incident for which there is a serious threat to life, limb, property, or environment that requires immediate attention by professionals, whether it be fire, ambulance, police department, or facility services. Examples of these emergencies: fire, flooding, any serious injury or shooting, etc. We classify non-critical events as situations that occur that need attention, but not necessarily immediate attention by professionals. These would be minor injuries, any problems with facilities that don't need to be fixed on the spot. We typically say that these can be handled by a conversation with a supervisor and then a form submission on when following the event, whether it be an accident report or an incident report. Each club will receive 2 red emergency contact cards at the start of each school year. These cards contain the emergency numbers of the professional staff of the sport clubs. We ask that you only use these numbers in the case of an emergency, and that you keep the cards in an accessible location. We typically say that those who have the cards should be ones that are at practice and travel the most, so that the cards are always with them. Listed below are the emergency contact numbers for UW Police, Ashley Lax, and Chad Schultz. Please use the cell phone numbers in the case of an emergency as indicated in the previous slide. We recommend that you put these numbers into your phones so that numbers are easily accessible if an emergency is. All clubs are now required to check out first aid kits prior to travel. These kits include all the necessary first aid supplies that you might need if you run into a minor emergency while on your trip. We ask that you keep track of any used items on the inventory sheet located in your travel binder so that we can replace these items for clubs who might be taking the kits with them in the coming weeks. Notify staff of items used upon check-in so that we can make sure we check the inventory sheet in your binder. Also, let us know if there are any supplies you would like to see in the first aid kits, as we are always looking for new things to add that might be of use to clubs. When picking up the first aid kit, clubs will also check out a travel binder from our sport club office. This binder includes valuable travel information and guidelines, and also includes a copy of health waivers that club members have completed on our WIN site. These waivers are in sealed envelopes that should not be opened unless an emergency does occur. The information included in these forms includes allergies, medicines, and medical history of all of the club members in case of an emergency. If for any reason you do open the envelope, one of our coordinators should be called to let them know that an emergency has occurred. If these binders in the first aid kit have not been picked up, we will enact our 3-strike policy on your club. The first strike is a written warning saying that you are non-compliant because you have not picked up your travel binder. The second is a loss of all reimbursements for the remaining semester when coming from travel. And the third is a suspension of all travel for the remainder of the semester. We want every club to make sure that they are picking up their travel binders and first aid kit, as it is a necessity whenever you are traveling off campus. EMS system. If an injury or incident occurs, immediately find a facility supervisor and call 911 if necessary. You must report this to your sport club administrative staff member immediately. Utilize your emergency red contact cards that are given to you at the beginning of each season. Submit an accident report on WIN following the emergency so that we can document what has happened in our office. Any non-life-threatening emergency requiring further follow-up, whether it be emergency room, a doctor visit, or an orthopedic institution, also needs to submit an accident report on WIN and report it to your liaison after practice so that we can document it in the office and know that all injuries must be reported to the proper personnel. If it is at a supervised facility, whether it be Rec Sports or Lathrop, alert the on-site supervisory staff immediately. Following the incident, submit an accident report form on WIN, and then contact your liaison with any basic details about the accident so that we know what has occurred. If the injury occurs at an unsupervised facility, whether it be outdoor fields such as U-Bay, off campus, or when you are traveling, you will still submit an accident report form on WIN, and you will contact your liaison as soon as possible. Accident reports. Club officers are required to submit an accident report for all injuries which occur during club activity, whether it be practices, special events, or travel. This form must be submitted within 24 hours on WIN or immediately upon your return to Madison if it occurs during travel. When in doubt, fill one out. It's better to have an accident report filled out to document what has happened than to not have it all. We keep a report in the club files of any accident that has occurred in case someone needs it for an insurance claim or a doctor's visit. Concussions. Concussions are a serious injury to the head that causes the brain to function abnormally. If you ever suspect that a teammate has a concussion or that they are exhibiting signs of a concussion, remove them from play immediately. All concussions are serious. We recommend that you don't try to hide your injury or tough it out and keep playing. Signs of concussions include headache or pressure on the head, sensitivity to light or noise, confusion or fogginess, problem balancing, and nausea or vomiting. The symptoms of a concussion include trouble concentrating, trouble remembering things, double or blurry vision, fatigue, sleepiness, and just not feeling right. If you or any of your teammates are exhibiting signs or symptoms of a concussion, please seek medical attention immediately. Return to play. If a participant is injured and then referred to a physician by any outside athletic trainer or EMT, that participant will need a physician's note to be allowed to return to play. When an athletic trainer or EMT is present, their decision is the final one that we will go off of when it comes to returning to play. Any on-site supervision does have the authority from our office to restrict play until documentation from an authorized provider gives you permission to return to play.